Hello friends and welcome to Life in Envelopes. I am Jennifer Bleecher. In today's video we are going to close out my budget for the first week of April. We're going to be doing some little cash envelope stuffing and then I'll have a little Q&A time at the end. Okay guys, let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first bill that came out this week was State Farm and that was $132. We did set aside $5 and $10 in cash for our garbage and Alliant Energy bill. We set aside cash every week for those, and then when they're due, we're able to pay them. We had our mortgage payment come out this week for $13.35. Our SUV payment for $118 also came out this week. And finally, our payment for loan number 2 also came out. We pay this every week. This is a debt consolidation loan. Okay, moving on to food. We only went to one grocery store this week because we spent all of our money there. So we spent $200 at Sam's Club this week. For gas, we did put $20 in the tank. So we spent $20 on gas. We had a trip to Target where we spent $25. So that was a miscellaneous expense. For spending money, we were able to do our 50 this week, so that was 10 for Logan, 20 for me, and 20 for David. And then finally, we were also able to do our cash sinking funds this week as well, so that was $76. Okay, so that's where we spent our money this week. Let's now take a look at each worksheet and see how it all works out. Okay, so starting with our fixed expenses. So mortgage did come out this week and it was $13.35, which is exactly what we budgeted. State Farm came out and it was $132, which was exactly what we budgeted. I get so happy when these numbers are what we actually budget them to be. SUV payment was also $118, which is what we budgeted. So far for our fixed expenses for the month, we are on track. Okay, moving on to week number 1. So we did have an actual negative rollover amount at the beginning of the week of $34. I was able to pay myself $562 from the business account, which left me with $528 to work with. So we did these cash envelopes last week for our sinking funds, and we put exactly what we budgeted into the envelopes. So that was $3 for Amazon, $10 for car maintenance, $5 for car registration, $20 for Christmas, $3 for Sam's, $30 for vacation, and $5 for vet. So altogether, we were able to save $76 last week into our sinking funds. $528 minus 76 is $452. Coming up here to fixed expenses. So most of our fixed expenses are covered with David's paycheck. These are the ones that we aren't able to cover with David's paycheck, so the money does come out of my paycheck, which is week to week. I have a variable amount that I'm paid week to week, and David's paid once a month, and his is a fixed amount. So first of all, loan number 2 did come out, and it was $142. We were able to put $5 towards garbage, and we were able to put $10 towards Alliant Energy. So altogether, we put $157 towards those fixed expenses. So $452 minus $157 is $295. Okay, coming down here to food. So we only spent $200 this week on groceries. We just did one trip to Sam's. We put $20 in the tank. We spent $25 at Target, and we did do our $50 in cash to spending for everybody in the family. So altogether, that came to $295. Which means we ended the week at 0, which is great. We weren't negative for the first time in weeks. That's awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and set up week number 2. So unfortunately, my income is variable, and this is a low income week for me. I am only going to be able to pay myself $387. So let's talk about where I'm going to spend that money. So to start with, loan number 2, so we're going to skip sinking of funds. Let's go to fixed expenses. So for loan number 2, that comes out of my bank account automatically. So I have to pay that right away. It's $142. That's not optional. These two are also bills, so I also consider them not optional. So we're going to set aside $5 for garbage and $10 for Alliant Energy. So after we pay those, let's see what we're left with. So first of all, 142 plus 5 plus 10, that's 157. So 387 minus 157, that's $230 that we're left to work with. So we're going to put 200 of that towards food. Anytime I try to go below 200 for food, it just doesn't work. So I'm going to make that a priority. We're still going to do our $20 to our gas tank. We're going to skip miscellaneous. We'll skip spending for David and I, but we'll still give Logan his 10. So altogether, that's $230, bringing our budget down to 0. So I'm hoping we'll be able to make this work. I'm beginning to feel like I can't do many more of these low budget weeks. It's getting tougher and tougher. And from what I'm hearing from other Etsy shop owners, their sales are also down. Our income from YouTube is down because there's less advertising money coming in. So we're just being hit across the board with everything. But for right now, I just want to focus on this 1 week. Let's get through this week and then see what next week brings us. Okay, so today we're going to be stuffing $45. So we have 20, 30, 40, 45. And we're going to start with bills. So the two bills that we need to set money aside for are garbage and Alliant Energy. Garbage is going to get $5 today. We're trying to save up 60, so let's see how much we have now. We have 5, 10, 15, and 20. We're also going to save $10 for Alliant. We're trying to save 40 for Alliant. I think we're going to get that today. Yeah, we're going to get that today. So now we have enough money to pay our Alliant bill. Alliant is our gas for our house. So I'm going to go ahead and deposit this into my bank account so I can pay that bill. Okay, so that's it for bills. Moving on to our cash envelopes. We only have a couple we need to stuff. Okay, so we're skipping my spending money. Logan is still going to get his $10. We're skipping David. Gas is still going to get 20. And we are skipping miscellaneous. Okay, so that's it for the cash envelopes. I am going to be answering some viewer questions, but if you're logging off here, I just want to remind you to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I hope to see everybody next time. Okay guys, this first question comes from B, and she says, I saw in your plan with me that you had time set aside to do your business budget on Sunday. Do you plan to start doing Etsy income budgets again in the future? I originally found your channel through those videos. I miss seeing them. I run a small business too, so I enjoy watching people's journeys with their shops. So I don't currently have a plan to start doing those budget videos again, but I don't like to say never. So it could happen in the future. I just don't currently have a plan to do that. Okay, this next question comes from Makeup, Money, and Muscle. You don't seem to have a ton of ads throughout your videos. I think you could definitely put in some more as an easy way to generate more income. I know I'd be happy to watch more during your videos to support you. Thank you so much for wanting to support me. I actually currently have all of the ads available that they will allow me to have. They give you like an option if you want to have ads at the beginning of your video, at the end of your video, and in the middle. And I've chosen all of the ads. I'm like, put all the ads you want all throughout the video. Unfortunately, advertising money is just down across the board for all YouTube creators. So I think there's just companies spending less money on advertising at this point in time because of the economy and everything that's going on with that. Okay, this next question comes from Bonds Mom. Have you considered making printable cash envelopes that would match your monthly releases? Not sure how many people in this community cash stuff, but I think it could be a nice addition. I don't think you would need to do envelopes for all 3 designs, but a collection that coordinates using the 3 patterns you purchased designed. You could also offer printing for the customer, as not everyone has access to a computer and printer. Just make sure people are aware that they are not assembled. Then I had a thought of when you set up your monthly budget, you could switch out the envelopes in your Filofax, showing people how to assemble and get ready for a new month. Then you would have an extra video for the month, setting up your monthly spread / envelopes and setting up the budget portion. Okay, so I don't remember how long ago it was, But I used to do this. I used to have envelopes like that you could purchase and print and then cut out and assemble at home yourself in a coordinating pattern to the stickers that I released every month. And I sold none. I think I did it for a few months and no one ever bought them. So that's why I don't do that anymore. Designing takes a long time and I can't afford, time-wise, I can't afford to spend time on something that's not going to sell. So based on the history of what I experienced, it wasn't something people wanted. Okay, this next question comes from Lynn B. Have you considered having one of your homeschool friends homeschool your boys? It will free up some time. Okay, so short and sweet answer to that is I don't have any homeschool mom friends. So it's not really an option. But actually homeschool, the way we've got it figured out now, it's just, it goes along with my work day. It flows very easily. This is Logan's desk right here, and he just sits at his desk and I just check in with him, and it works well. Homeschool isn't taking up too much of my time. Okay, so this next question is from Tracy Riam, and she asks, how many new patrons do you have since you released Give Me a Hug? So if you don't know what that is, so on my Patreon site, I've added a $5 a month option where it's called Give Me a Hug, where people can sign up for it. It's $5 a month, and then they get to be in the closing credits for that month. So since I started doing that, I have 9 patrons who have signed up for that. So that's an extra $45 a month of income for my family. So we appreciate it so much. Okay, this next question comes from VLW Bug 1986. Is there a reason you don't use your car maintenance fund for your car wash? So for me, I think of my car maintenance fund for big purchases such as oil changes and car repairs. So for example, I'm getting my oil change this week and my headlight replaced. So all of my car maintenance funds are going towards that. So that's why when I have something little like a car wash, I just use my miscellaneous spending money for that expense. This next question is from Tina Terrell. Is there any way Jacob could pay you a little bit for staying at your home? So in case you don't know, Jacob is my son. He is 20 years old and he recently, well, like in December, moved back home with us. And he doesn't pay me in rent, but he pays me with his time by working in my Etsy shop with me. He cuts most of my stickers, he cuts those for me. So that's how he is paying for his rent here. Okay, so this next question comes from Carrie Walden. Do you get paid more for us watching the longer ads on YouTube? I often skip longer ones, but wonder if you get paid more for a 2-minute ad versus a 30-second ad. This is a great question. So I did some research, and while there's not like one clear answer to this question, from what I understand is after that 30-second like threshold, it doesn't make a difference. I don't make any more money. Once you've watched 30 seconds, whether it's a 30-second ad or a 2-minute ad, it doesn't make a big difference in how much money I get paid. So go ahead and skip those ads. Also, this was asked before I started doing Q&A sections, but if you have, I think it's called YouTube Premium, where you pay a amount every month so you don't have to see ads, I get a percentage of that. So if you have YouTube Premium and you watch my videos, I still make money. Okay, so in these last 2 questions, these are actually questions for you guys. I have a viewer from New Zealand who just had a couple of budgeting questions, and I explained to her that I don't do that. So if you've been around for a while, I no longer answer personal budgeting questions that people have about their personal budget just for liability reasons. I ran into some trouble with that in the past, so I'm not going there again. But I told her I would be more than happy to share her questions with you guys, and if you guys have some advice for her, you can go ahead and put those down in the comment section below, and then she can read them. So her first question is, how do I record my doctor bills? I do need to pay them at the time, but then insurance pays me back 80%. So that's her first question. Her second question is, my husband gets paid monthly and the mortgage comes out fortnightly. So I find it hard to work out what to write down because sometimes there's 2 payments and sometimes there's 3. Okay, so those are her 2 questions. So if you have some suggestions for her, please put them in the comment section below. I'm sure she would be very happy to hear your ideas. Okay friends, so that is it for this week's video. If you enjoyed today's video, will you please give it a thumbs up? And I will see you again next time. Bye everyone!